this crowd. Your girl tryna get wild. Well, you wish I never came and you looking so lame. Cause you talking my style, DJ, make it hot like wow.
Good evening, everybody. We are approaching.
Okay, John, it's time for the qualification.
Make sure
It's
that
2
I've got
laps
my
and 8
wheel
minutes.
turned on.
40 joined.
Yep,
Be safe.
we got it. So let's get the qualifying fuel set in here quick. We want to go about 6 gallons. Should have had this ready to go before it popped up with qualifying, but oh well. Let's go 5.3 gallon. 5 gallons should be plenty. We want to. And here we go. Get my seat adjusted. This is the last IMSA race at Daytona for the season. Haven't had the best of luck here. Well, first race I did great. I think I finished 4th or 5th. Next race, I got a net code error. Actually, this is my 4th race, I think. First one didn't go well. Lost 40, gained 47 back, and then lost a shit ton my last race. Had a net code issue coming out of turn 2. I kind of slid over a little bit just to make room for the guy who was coming on the outside. Net coded him, so he went after we touched, which we didn't touch, but after iRacing said we touched, he slid back over, hit me, got me spun around and into the wall before the international hairpin, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Jared, how's it going, man?
Green flag, give me a flyer.
Man, Jared, I have been doing some X-Plane streams. Did one Friday, one Sunday. Just got the Zebo reloaded again. I had an old version, but I updated to 11.30 after it went out of the beta. So I got the new Zebo, installed all that, and went flying. Really loving live traffic. Really loving live traffic. Right now, the number 16 car in this race, probably second split, maybe. I'll read your text here in a second. I forgot to call up my other app. That I could actually have text on my main screen versus up here above. Did a fresh install of Windows and deleted everything off my hard drives. Oh yeah, that's what I had done. And I hadn't even installed some of the programs back on yet. Had to get Plane Command installed back. Got X Camera installed, but I just have yet to figure out how to really... I haven't figured that out yet.
Great. Fastest lap. 1 minute 42.504.
Kind of need to carry some more. Ooh, I'm the
Great.
9th place car
Class
so far.
position 9 now.
It's lap times. It's the thing you see up in the top left or the middle right, the one that's got what gear I'm in, speed I'm going, and the yellow thing going across the top is where my steering wheel is in relation to 0.
Down in number 10 in class currently.
I'll take a number 10 spot, man. Actually, looks like I'm in 12. Oh, I bet there's 2 deep. And then the numbers down at the bottom just show fuel tank information,
E12.
how much time is left, water temperature,
There's a flag. It's over.
oil temperature, that kind of stuff. My 2 laps, they're done, so I'm done with that for now. So now I'll go back out
Gap in front is
and sit and wait.
0.172.
My guy
Car
is talking
behind did
to
a new
me.
personal best. 1 minute 42.519.
I need to get my Twitch stuff here going. There we go. Now I'm set. I can see everything. Let me get this turned off. I don't need this on. Always on top. No. There we go. Yeah, qualifying the race will start here in a minute and 10 seconds. That's when we'll start the grid, and then after the grid time, then you have then you grid, and then after you grid, that's where you kind of set up in your in the race. They'll likely be what I'm racing here is a GTE car, and I'm guessing there'll likely be some GT3s, and then that'll be it. There's also LMP1 they call it. Yes, people can crash into you. And if you look, you can't see it now. It's you can't see it right now, but when the actual relatives show up, just to the left of my mug, and then in the top left-hand corner are the standings, you will see like a class designation and then a number after that. The class designation, it starts with rookie, and you go D, C, B, A. And what that is based off of is that's based off of how safe you are on the track, the number of incidents that you get per lap. Some of the tracks are better because it's basically based off the number of incidents per turn.
Let's get to it. Coming up is race.
And then based
1
off...
hour 0 minutes.
And then
40
based
cars
off
joined.
how many...
Keep cool out there.
I got to get my fuel put back in again. Now let's just do this. My setups. No. Daytona, BB. And then the A number is you gain more based on how safe you are on the track. The number that you see, that 1741, that's based on how well you do when you're racing and where you finish on the track based on the people that you're racing against. The higher the it's called SOF, strength of field. the more numbers that you'll get on that ranking. So right now I'm the 12th place car. Actually, I'm the number 16 car. And I'm starting 12th, so I've gained a little bit now already.
On the right side. This road is closed.
And as we're racing, looks like there's 20. Jesus God, looks like there's 24 GTE cars and 16 GT3 cars. Anyway, that 1741 is based on what how you finish in the races, whether it's higher or lower. The higher you finish, oh yeah, there's can be up to 63, I believe. Anyway, I'm gonna hopefully start doing some more races, flights in the evenings. I just got a probably 8-9ish central. This first lap is always the worst because you've got people that are in a hurry, and you got people coming in behind you that thinks that, oh, I need to get through this turn, I need to advance, and it sucks. And I said earlier that this is likely the second split, and what they do, if there's, let's say there's 60 cars, they won't put all 60 cars in one race. What they'll do is they'll split the cars so that the 30 people with the highest I rating, which is the 4-digit number, 30 people with the highest I rating will go in the top split, and then the lowest 30 will go in the second split. And so you're basically racing against cars of the same rating, same abilities.
Good moving, P1.
Green, green, green.
This is going to be the hairy turn right here.
Car left front. Car left front. Eyes forward.
Toss the GTE car. Genius driving, guys. Genius driving.
I can't leave that inside open like that, man. I gotta close that down. Okay, here we go. You'll get black flagged, which means you'll have to go in and then there's also in iRacing there's also a protest. The way that you can protest a car. So let's say somebody just comes in and completely wipes me out, and breaks the code of ethics, the iRacing code of ethics, code of conduct. Then you can basically just go and say, what is this guy? You can basically put a protest in against that car, and you won't get anything back, but you'll get they'll tell you, you'll know that guy was basically reprimanded, and a lot of people will actually lose their ability to race if they do it a lot. And there's actually been some professional drivers that have gotten on here and just went ape shit and were actually just absolutely stupid. I've been doing iRacing a lot more than flying, and the reason has been that, you know, if you want to just spend an hour and a half on here, getting in the car, getting everything set up, doing a full race, streaming it, and being done, you can do that easily. Not even an hour and a half.
We're P11 in class currently.
This is going to be about an hour and a half from the time I got on. It'll start. I probably got started about 4:30, and I'll be done at 6. You can't realistically do a flight. I mean, from start up to shut down the whole process in an hour and a half. It's just shouldn't say next to impossible, but it's impossible. It's nearly impossible.
We're in the fuel window now. You may come in. Improving. Best lap time, 1 minute 42.894.
That was lucky. Somebody spun. I don't know if it was a lap car. He was sitting right in the middle of the old... Of course, I was getting a little... No,
Well
I don't.
done, John. In class position number 10 currently.
Years and years ago, back in the 80s, I had a 79 Mercury Capri that I used to do autocross in. And that was, autocross is strictly, you're out there by yourself, driving around cones, and you get timed. You don't have the same... You don't have the same, you know, you don't have the same contact and the same closeness that you have in this. So that's the one thing that I'm really getting used to, is being able to I'm learning the whole process about, as far as close contact with other cars. I'll let off and let the other people by, versus
Car left
taking the
front.
chance.
Clear. Delta time in front over 5 laps, gap increased by 2/10. Axel Kratian in car 4 behind has lost 10.4 just recently.
Exactly. Yep, I'm too conservative because I don't want to A, wipe myself out, and B, wipe somebody else out, so I'm gonna... And another thing is too, is that most of you've per race, I was talking about the safety rating, and that's based on incidents, and off track will be 1 incident. Sometimes you can get car contact at 0 incidents if you barely touch the car. But every time you get into a fairly large accident with somebody, it's called a 4X, and in a 1 hour race like this,
Car right front. Clear. Clear.
in a race like this,
What do you think?
you only have 17 incidents per hour. And once you get that 17th incident, you're disqualified. So your race is done.
P11 now.
So you got to be very careful. You just can't go out and start running into people and going out, getting off tracks, and certain off tracks will actually get you a slowdown. Well, there'll be a timer that comes up on the screen, and you have to actually get slowed down, or they'll black flag you, make you come in and do a pit and a hold. Oh, it's hugely popular. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was and they kind of mimic all the big like IMSA races and that kind of stuff. So last weekend, there was actually, I'm sorry, I take that back, 2 weekends ago. iRacing had a 24-hour Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona, and there were, I think, I'm either thinking 600 or 700 teams that got into that event, and a team can consist of anywhere from 2 to 6 drivers. So you're talking about 3,600 people that took place in this race. That Porsche was quicker than I am, but I think that Ferrari in front of me, I can take him if I just get a good spot to take him in. You know, you'll see the Twitch streams similar to what you see with Flight Sim. You know, you'll get a few of your guys that'll have
adding 7.13 gallon.
You'll get some of your guys that'll have, you know, 600, 700, 800 people watching. And then you'll get, you know, obviously like me, you get some guys that have shouldn't say very few, but have fewer. I will say that I have more people. These guys are fighting each other. Don't want to get too close. I'll end up crashing my ass. Yes, got a pit stop. Yep. Okay, see you in a minute. Raul, watch yourself, man. You just about took me out. Safety rating car behind.
Safety rating for Uskankaya is 1.5.
Safety rating car ahead. Safety rating car ahead. Tom, how's it going, man? This will probably be the last time I drive the Ferrari for a while. I'm going to start driving the Merc, get ready for Bathurst. God, these guys scare me. Yeah, I watched most of it, Tom. Boy, that was a mess. I'll be going to Sebring in March, and I'm hoping to God
Moving
it's
up,
warmer
John,
than that.
up to class position 10.
I would not be happy to sit around in 45-degree weather. In rain. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, I did a forecast. Granted, I know it's end of January and Sebring is mid-March. I looked out a forecast on AccuWeather and it showed upper 70s and 80s the whole week. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I was going to take a dive inside of him, but he tapped the brakes again. I would have ended up cutting. I would have ended up spinning him out.
Delta time in front over 5 laps. You closed the gap by 0.2.
Yeah, it was bad. They said heavy rains were coming in. I didn't realize that. I mean, the bus stop, they said if you walked out onto the bus stop, you would be up to your ankles in water. Oh, he was. Absolutely right, he was. Yeah, I wonder, I really wonder what,
Car right front. Car right rear.
Clear.
Eyes forward.
I really wonder what Wayne Taylor pays those guys. I mean, they got Alonso to race with them and Kobayashi to race with them. Those are two huge names. And that's just on the one team.
Great, John. We're in class position number 9 now.
That's just floors me that he's able to get that kind of I think from what I understand, he's a businessman in South Africa. He was supposed to win some kind of an award, a Hall of Fame award in South Africa, and it's not even a racing award. It's just like it's just a general award. So I know he obviously owning a racing team like that. I guess it's not two teams, it's just the one. The two Cadillacs finished 1-2. He doesn't own both teams. But in order to put together a team like that, you got to have some coin. But you just wonder what he ends up paying. Get Kobayashi. $1 million, $500,000. I mean, it's just basically for a week. $250,000. I'm just curious. I'm real curious.
Hey, man. Don't you have relatives?
I thought I was going that time. Oh, very true. And somebody like Alonso, I'm guessing he's already got enough money from winning 2 F1 championships. I don't know what he got paid. And I know he's been racing F1 for a while. I'm guessing his contracts are fairly steep. So maybe he doesn't even really care about the money. I don't know.
Delta behind last lap, within 1/10.
No, no, you're good. I can look away. This guy is dive bombing me though, man. I'm kind of nervous that I'm gonna get hit going into a corner. I look back and I see him just... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he, you know, he hops on these F1 or an IndyCar races for like, I think he did one race last season, the Indy 500, and I think he's doing the Indy 500 again. Fuck. Fuck. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
You're going the wrong way.
We're class position
Fucking
16
A.
currently.
Went from 8th to fucking 16th.
New leader is Felix Schuster.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Car left rear. Clear.
Clear.
Aaron, that stuff doesn't need to be shredded. I'm gonna take it all into work and put it in the dumpster.
New
the
leader
shred
car
dumpster.
10 Anthony Castro.
Son of a bitch. Fucking just, god damn it.
Gap ahead is 0.231. Car left rear.
Clear.
Clear. Good job. Class position 15.
That was my own fault. That's not on you, Tom. I was gawking around and looked at my braking point and it's like, oh shit, I missed it. I'd have been better off. Fuck. I'd have been better off going right through the bus top and taking the 3-second time penalty. No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't at all. That was on me. I'm still looking while I'm talking. I just missed my spot. I brake at the yellow light, and I waited until the one board, and I waited too long. It was my own fault, man. Nope, you're not. You're fine. I got 4 points. God dang it, I completely screwed the pooch there. Went from gaining 40 IR to losing out on 17. This Daytona's just been shit for me. Not yet.
14.4 laps left in the
Well, I
skid.
just spun on the bus top, Jarrett. Went from 8th or 9th to 15th. Missed my braking point and came into the curve too fast and spun. So I got passed by 5 or 7 cars. Yeah, that was my own fault. I was gawking around and missed my brake point. Well, if I can get 2 or 3 spots back, I might end up breaking even on IR. I've got 4.2 ahead of me, so. Safety rating car ahead.
Safety rating of Rahul Manrava is 2.34.
I rating car ahead
I rating of Rahul Manrava
is what? 18:28. Okay, so it's roughly the same.
Delta time ahead over 5 laps, you closed the gap by 5/10.
So 3.2 to the guy in front of me and 5 seconds to the guy in front of that, so. Have to be speedy but safe. Have you looked into SimBuddy
New
at all?
leader
Just
is
wondering.
Felix
Installed this
Schuster.
morning and did a flight. Not sure what the difference is. Oh, I have not. The thing I like about Project Fly though is the commands that it gives you when you're streaming. You get the route. You get a lot of stuff. Oh, are you serious? Who knows if you'll ever get that back? I mean, how long it'll take? How long it'll take Fanatec to get that back to you? That was way too slow. .8, I'm coming after him. I-rating car ahead. I don't know who that car is sitting there, but I wish he'd. Also, I backed the field gear wheel, hoping it. Oh! Yeah, I saw that. That'd be kind of an interesting thing. Nope, they're already canceling school for tomorrow. You gotta be. You're probably in the cold weather now, Jarrett.
Kursunlu at pit exit. We're clear.
Checking to make sure I got all the stuff I need checked on my pit stop. Got 11 laps remaining. So 10 laps after this, 9 laps after this. I'll come in and get about 7 gallons of fuel and we will be golden.
They said you cut the course. They're showing us the black flag.
Thank you, Tony.
That's the slowdown I was telling you about, Jared. And once that thing turns off, then I can go ahead and catch back up again. Okay, the guy behind me is in 19th place, and he's 9 laps behind. If he crashes me, I'm gonna be pissed.
Delta in front over 5 laps, you closed the gap by 2/10. Moving up John, P14 now.
Problem is I lost a second to my little mistake back there in the bus stop. I was inside of 2 seconds. No, we don't. No, don't have to pit at the same time. The key thing is making sure that you get your fuel right. I've got an app. The app that you see on the screen in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see like fuel and how much I'll need, and that kind of stuff. So I just basically, and it calculates your fuel based on how much fuel per lap, how many laps are left in the race, based on time. So it does all that all the calculations for you, which is nice. I gained a spot, but the person that I passed is probably pitted, so well, I take that back. Maybe he hasn't.
Pause at pit exit. Eyes forward. Delta in front over 5 laps, you closed the gap by 5/10.
Of course, then we get the GT3 car between me and the guy I'm chasing. He's fairly quick, though. He's the 8th place car in GT3, so. The big thing with the GT3 cars versus the GTE cars is the anti-lock brakes. The car I'm driving doesn't have anti-lock brakes, so they'll skid and slide it in an instant's moment. GT3 car in front of me can wait a little longer before he has to brake. We've got more downforce, so we'll be able to go through the middle of the corners quicker. I don't trust him. Passing right. Stay there, buddy.
Car left front. Car left front.
We got higher downforce, so we'll be able to
12 ahead heads into the pits.
come through the infield a little quicker. But their brake points are different just because of the anti-lock brakes. The GT cars are
Moving
normally
up to P13 currently.
2 seconds faster per lap. It's not cheating, man. If you were to guess, if you were to take a poll of how many people in this race are using similar programs, I'd have to guess that 95+% of them are. And basically what they are is they're just basically, you know, like a crew chief that you would have in a normal race. You know, they set the fuel, how much you're going to come in for. Another thing too is a lot of these cars, what they'll do is they won't take a full load. They'll basically, I think these cars will hold 19 gallons at the start of the race. What a lot of people will do, I think you need like 27 gallons to do this whole thing. Maybe 28. It's 28 laps. I don't know for sure how many laps it is, but what they'll do is they will basically half fuel it. So they're going to have to stop halfway through and get fuel. What that does is it allows them to start the race with less fuel. It'll make their setup more consistent over the length of the race. But basically I'm gonna go until I think there's like usually 6 laps left. Yeah, anyway, I was telling you before, Jared, I've got live traffic, and oh man, that is sweet. Especially with the airliners. I haven't done the GAs with it yet, but I think tonight after probably 8:30, something like that, when the kids go to bed, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly Portland down to San Diego. So I'll be flying, and what the live traffic does is it takes the ADBS information off of real planes that are flying and pumps it into X-Plane through a plug-in. It is kind of neat because I flew from Portland down to Oakland the other day, and I saw a Southwest plane. After I landed, I saw a Southwest plane that was coming in on final. I went back and looked. I looked at the actual information on FlightAware, and that actual plane had just landed. I think somebody said there's like a 50-second delay.
All right, P12 now.
So that's how accurate it was. It was pretty damn cool, actually. And a lot of people are having issues with it, working with FS Cloud. I got a workaround that you basically... Actually, it won't work with FS Cloud, PE, Pilot Edge, or Squawk Box. But what I did is you basically go start up X-Plane, go in, shut off the FS Cloud plugin, shut off the Squawk Box plugin, fire up the live traffic, get that running, and then what I do then is go back and fire up the FS Cloud, so that'll work as well. Passing right, Vince.
Delta time ahead over 5 laps, you closed the gap by 5/10.
Okay, the guy in front of me right now is 5.3 seconds.
All right, position 11 now.
The guy in front of me right now is pitting, so I've got 4 more laps to go with from in a pit. Yeah, the bus stop really got me. God, it just irritating. Oh, you said he was pitting. He's not pitting. Cheater, cheater. Somebody just came in there hot and had to lock up the brakes.
Delta time in front over 5 laps, you closed the gap by 7/10. Hugo Guillaume Pietro ahead of you has lost 6.7.
I don't know why that guy that's sitting back there at the bus stop, Drew Lidkia, why doesn't he just disconnect and get the hell out of there?
How about taking the inside? No problem then, thanks.
.5 laps left in the tank.
I was hoping to get around him before he pitted, but might not matter. I don't know why the BetBot thing isn't working.
Go for the inside.
Jonas Ruhainen in car 20 ahead of us has lost 6.4 just recently.
Running low on fuel, we can be able to make it to the end.
Well done, you're in class position number 10 currently.
I'm only in 10 because the other guy's pitted. One more lap.
Lütfen rahat ol, geçemem. Sadece draftından yararlanmayız. Bayağı sallarız.
.7 laps left in this tank, so I'll be able to do one more lap and then I'll have to pit. He's pitting now, so I'm going to move up to the top 10. But
Marcos Erostegui ahead is pitting.
everybody, I'm guessing, in class is pitted ahead of me, so...
Guillaume Pietro coming out of pits. Clear behind. Well done, you are number 8.
No problem, Adrian.
Make sure that I'm not getting
You need
tires.
to pit now for fuel. There's only 0.84 gallon remaining in the tank.
Get a tear off, 7 gallons, no tires. Yeah. Yeah, right now I've got 0.5 gallons left.
Limiter activated.
I gotta look for my guy.
10 SEC.
There we go.
7 seconds.
There he is.
Box now. One car coming up. And clear. Erostegui coming up. 2 on track. 3 when returning. You are class position 11 now. 4 cars coming up.
Can you increase? No. Fuel's only going to go in so fast. I don't take tires because they don't do tires and fuel at the same time. So it's going to probably double the amount of time I'm in the pits. So it's not worth it. Yeah, I basically set it up through commands. On the wheel, I've got a relative box with tires and all that information over to the side. I use one of the wheels on my steering wheel to adjust that. And I basically said no tires, 7 gallons of fuel. Thank you. Just slow down the guy behind me, man. No. That is realistic. That's how they do it in some of the actual races. You can't do fuels and tire at the same time. It's not the same rules as NASCAR. And the real IMSA actually limits.
Blue flag, man. Blue flag.
The real IMSA actually limits how fast the fuel can go into the car. It's like a minimum, minimum time for refueling. I think it's 35 seconds for how many ever gallons they put in. And that's a rule for everybody. And they watch it very closely.
Delta ahead last lap, gap decreased by 0.7.
Okay.
It's clear.
So I've gotten a 4.7 second lead over the guy. Now it just needs to rain. Yeah. You know, Tom, I heard, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I heard that they were running lap times were 30 seconds slower once it started raining. I can easily believe that. No, iRacing is enough of a shit show now. If you throw rain into
Delta
it.
in front over 5 laps. You closed the gap by 0.3.
See, I don't even know how far in front of me the guy is. If I'm gaining on laps. So the guy in front of me is Ozken Kaya, and 17 seconds. Yeah, it's not gonna happen with only 7 minutes left, unless he were to spin, or you can get lucky sometimes. The first race I did here at Daytona, I was running in 8th, I think, and 2 cars in front of me ran out of gas. So it can happen. Yeah, 2 cars ran out of gas, and 1 car, I was in 11th. 1 car, his tires were so bad, on the last lap, he was coming out of turn number 6 before you get into the Daytona, the NASCAR section, and he spun. And then as I came through the bus stop, there were 2 cars in front of me that had slowed down to
Delta
the
ahead
point
over
where
5 laps.
they were obviously
you
out
closed
of
the
fuel.
gap by 0.7.
I know there's a command to find out the car in front of me. Distance the car in front. Yeah, he doesn't know that. I don't know the right command to get that. I'll have to start memorizing these. I think though. I don't know if that's an actual. It is. Don't move, buddy. Of course, that was a 17th place car. 15.4 seconds, it looks like, is what I'm seeing. Now, this is showing 16.6. Okay. And when we're done here, I'll show you the numbers, if you're still around, Jarrett, based on like the I rating that I gain and the SR that I gain based on incidents and all that stuff. Because what happens is, like I said, the safety rating is based on the number of turns along with the number of laps divided by, and then that it takes into account how many incidents that you've had in that race. So some races with some tracks with a lot of turns, if you're safe, you can get a lot of SR.
You've got to be kidding me, dude.
And then the different class ratings, kind of put you in a spot where you're actually able to race and what races you're able to race in. They don't want rookies getting into a race like this because the rookies would be all over the place. The rookies start out in the Mazdas. And then I think the next progression, Mazdas and maybe the spec racers. And the next progression, yeah, get up into the Skippies. That would be a D class. And then I think a C class is when you can start racing IMSA. How's it going, Ron? Hey, did you see the post that I made about getting about your name change in FSE? They switched it to Iowa Scotsman. I still wish I could figure out what's up with Pats, but whatever. For now, anyway, I'll have to keep digging.
Gap in front is 15.3.
Gap to car in front.
Gap ahead, 14.9.
Two minutes, probably two more laps. How much fuel do I have left? I got enough fuel for 4 laps, so we're good. So the car in front of me, that last lap, he ran a 143.2, and he just ran a 144. So we'll see what I run here, and if it's, I don't know whether to push. I only have 2. I'm not gonna push. I just ran a 143.1. he ran a 144, I ran a 143 once, so 9/10. I'd need, you know, another 14, 15 laps in order to catch up. As of right now, the board is showing me gaining 16 IR, which is better than where I was before losing, so should get the white flag here. Gap, car ahead.
Gap ahead, 1 minute 56.6.
I don't, oh, 1 minute, what? No, it's not a minute. Whatever. I think I'm gonna, this
Running on fuel, we should be able to make it to the end.
this next
Gap
week,
behind is 1 minute
or this coming week that
32.1.
starts here at 6 o'clock, is the Merc. I think I'm gonna run the Merc at Nürburgring, not the full course, just the WEC course. And the reason I'm running this now is because we ran this at the Daytona 500 and I've got the most laps in it. And another thing too is with I found out with the Mercs, say the lead car just crossed the finish line. The thing with the Mercs is there's not as many, so you'll get put in a split with drivers with higher I ratings. So therefore, you know, if you win those races, that's great for your I rating. But when, you know, the higher I rating guys are obviously typically the better driver. So somebody like me with a 1700 IR is very unlikely to beat a guy that's a 3,000 or 4,000, although it can happen. You know, bad luck for somebody. And
GG guys, GG at go.
Car left front. Clear.
Clear on the left. That's the checkered flag.
I always like going an extra lap. I wait until the last thing pops up and my JRT says official. As long as it's, I think, as what I've heard anyway, as long as it still says finishing, it counts your corners, so it's going to increase your safety rating. Don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it enough. I typically just go ahead and do another lap and then just hop in the pits afterwards. And usually one more lap, then everything's okay. It says official now, so it should be official. But so I finished 11th. Looks like I'm going to gain 16, which like 56 seconds behind the. When you consider how much it took when I spun in the bus stop, I probably lost 15 seconds, if not more, by the time I got turned around and restarted and back up to speed. Easily could have been sitting, you know, in 8th, 9th place. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna pit now, and then I'll bring up the race results.
18 seconds to our stall. Pit limiter turned on. 10 SEC. 7.
The race is over.
Hit now.
Okay, so that would be it. Okay, I'm going to save this up here quick. I typically save all my races, and then if I ever want to go back and watch them.
Really good job, John. We finished in P11. We come home with 1.56 gallon.
Oh, this is only my third race, I guess. Well, it was my fourth because the one I got pissed and did an Alt F4, which I've never done before. I did it the other night because I was just furious. Okay, so let's get my other monitor up here, and we can look to see how I did. I'm guessing I broke even on safety rating. That would be my guess. I'm going to close that up. Okay, last session results. So if I look down here, I started car number 16, started 12th, finished 11th. I gained 16 I rating. That's based on my finish. Oh, I gained 18 on safety rating for my license. You look down here under incidents. I had 6 incidents of the 17 you could get. So I got 3 or 4, I think, when I spun, because not only did I spin, then I hit the wall. So that didn't help any. So that's a bonus. Gaining 16 is nice. I wish I could have gained more. If I didn't spin, you know, I'm looking at maybe racing for 8th or 9th. And then that spin obviously killed my average lap time. Had a decent, was 1 second off the fastest lap time, but that probably was with draft, so it's not exactly 100% a true lap time. But anyway, so I did. I'll give myself coming back after blowing it. I just went through the corner, came up to the bus stop, and all of a sudden noticed that I was at the one board, and I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And of course, as soon as that happened, then I was done. Just taking my shoes off, putting them down here. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a flight with live traffic this evening. Probably won't be until 8:30 or 9. I'm going to do live traffic at night. I think from Portland. Let me look here quick. I think from Portland. Yeah, Portland to San Diego. So that's the plan. 2 hours and 16 minutes. I'm looking forward to that one. That one should be fun. I'm not going to do it on Pilot Edge. I've been so long since I've done any Pilot Edge flights. Don't even think I'd want to even try it. So anyway, that's the plan for probably 9 o'clock Central Time. It's going to take me probably almost to midnight to make the flight, but I don't care. It's going to be so cold I can get into work late tomorrow and no one will even know. Well, they'll know, but I'm not going to worry about it. Close out of some stuff here. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching along. Jarrett, make sure you hop on and when I'm ever in a race. It was good chatting with you. As for later, you'll see on Twitch and you'll see wherever that, or on Twitter, I mean, that I will be streaming again. Hopefully I'll get stuff going so I'm ready to depart right around 9 o'clock or so and get into San Diego at 11, probably 11:30ish, which is good. Oh, that reminds me, I want to check. It's at Twin Ring Motegi, and it's like that's not one of my favorite tracks. I want to check where VRS is. VRS, okay, that's what I thought. Nürburgring and the BESWC track. And where is not the Endurance, the Le Mans Series. I think they're at Road America. Yeah, the problem with Road America is though is it doesn't have the Merc, and I like the Merc. Anyway, that is it for me for tonight. I appreciate everyone that hopped on to follow or to watch. Appreciate it very much. Spending your Monday afternoon, evening with me. Actually, late evening for some of those people. Maybe even morning, Tuesday morning for Tom. Anyway, appreciate it. Have a good evening. I'll be back on probably later doing a 2-hour flight. So, anyway, thank you. Peace out.